Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking Wonder Woman. And we're looking at an update with its box office. As of July 24th, 2017, it grossed $389,741,896 domestically, according to Box Office Mojo, as you can see there. Worldwide Kume of $780,341,896. Now, if you watch it, the daily gross, that was for Monday, right? Monday it grossed in $730,000. As you can see here, $730,589, which means that as of yesterday, yesterday would have been Tuesday, July the 25th, it had to have passed $390 million by now. Because if you look at the Monday gross, the trend is Monday gross is a certain amount, but Tuesday gross is usually bigger than Monday's. So anything north of $730 million carries this total way over. I mean, you just need to have $300 million, less than $300 million to get that to over $390 million. Now, what does that mean, domestically speaking? That means it's well within range in the next 5.5 weeks of making $400 million. It's well within range for that to happen. I say 5.5 weeks because this weekend coming up will be the 9th weekend, and interestingly enough, you're looking at 9 weekends. That means that if it was 10 weekends, then you have 4 weekends left to make 14 weekends. I think Wonder Woman will go on a 14-weekend run, like how Man of Steel did. I don't think they'll have it in cinemas for 12 weekends. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. We'll see. But what's important is having 5.5 weekends, or let's say 3.5 weekends left, Wonder Woman can cross the $400 million mark, even though it is showing in less cinemas every single weekend. Also, the worldwide Kume of $780 million, over $780 million, brings it within range also of getting to $800 million. So there are two things, the two totals I'm looking at. The totals of $400 million domestically and $800 million worldwide. And that's very possible, seeing that the market in Japan hasn't opened up yet for Wonder Woman. The other very interesting thing is that Spider-Man is only $3 million, well, almost close to $4 million away from the $400 million mark. So it's possible, it's very possible with Wonder Woman's trajectory that it could beat and surpass Spider-Man, which, remember, was the superhero origin film way back in 2002 that set that record. So that record has been up for over 15 years, okay? So for Wonder Woman to take down that 15-year record and become the #1 superhero origin film, that's huge. Not only is it huge, but it's another accomplishment that Patty Jenkins directed film would have done. And what's the consequence of some of these things happening? Well, the following. Now, Mark Hughes of Forbes magazine, he already predicted Wonder Woman will cross $800 million. And he also believes that Wonder Woman will make the $400 million mark. The question really is, can it surpass the Spider-Man origin movie? That is the $100 million question. We'll see. But let's bear in mind the following things. Wonder Woman's budget is less than Spider-Man's budget. Okay? Wonder Woman's budget is $150 million. Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man movie, cost more than that. So bear those things in mind when we're talking about Wonder Woman and its success and its profitability. In addition, Wonder Woman making that kind of mark, so that regardless of if it was a woman or a man, imagine Wonder Woman becoming the #1 superhero origin movie, right? That would mean a number of things. It would mean this movie and Wonder Woman will have a heavy impact on the box office of Justice League. People are going to go to watch the Justice League movie, and they're not going to even care if it's a good or a bad movie. They're going to see Wonder Woman. Okay? That statement is huge, and it's already been made. But just imagine Wonder Woman not only does that, but achieves the mark of being the #1 superhero original movie and possibly wins an Academy Award or is nominated for an Academy Award at the end of the year. Those kinds of accolades with Wonder Woman would only benefit Justice League. Only. Okay? So, and we already know Wonder Woman has a pivotal role in Justice League. So, it goes without saying that there's not going to be an if or but about this. Justice League is going to be a box office success. That much we do know. Okay? It's going to clear $1 billion easily. Okay? That we know. How much it will clear $1 billion, that's another story. But we know it's going to clear $1 billion. The groundwork, the footwork has been set. We have a backstory for Wonder Woman, we have a backstory for Superman, we have a backstory for Batman. The three key members of the Justice League that are necessary for the Justice League to exist. Okay? So, and we know they're all coming back together. So, we already know this movie is going to be a $1 billion hit. That's a given. What is not a given is this, that it would be a critical success. But Wonder Woman will be a key contributor to it being a critical success. The final piece in the puzzle is the director that has taken over Justice League, Joss Whedon. And I just want to say very briefly that Joss Whedon has made a big difference already in the second Justice League trailer. Okay? The tone of the movie is Zack Snyder. The movie still has the feel of a Zack Snyder film. You're getting a Zack Snyder film. But Joss Whedon has put in some connective tissue, and he's also tweaked certain color filters for the movie. He also has tweaked, I can tell, some of the dialogue. What Joss Whedon is doing is he's saying, I'm going to give you the best possible Zack Snyder film you will ever see in your life. This will be Zack Snyder's crowning achievement, because I, Joss Whedon, will ensure that you understand what Zack Snyder is saying in this movie. You will not misunderstand his message. And I will make sure that I polish his message and I enhance his message so that when you get it, you're not going to, shall I say, you will have very little to say that's negative about it. Okay? It will be a universally received film. This is what Joss Whedon is working on. And he's doing it very skillfully. That trailer blew my mind. Okay? And it's very much a Zack Snyder trailer. But you can tell there's something different about it. And that difference is Danny Elfman playing Hans Zimmer's Man of Steel as it comes down. The movie actually escalates as it continues to move forward. And it goes to a whole other level. Superhero level. You hear Man of Steel playing in the background. That's Danny Elfman. And then you see the superheroes not only doing superhero things, but you hear the narration at the right time. You see the color tones fit in with the characters and what they're doing. The slow motion fits in with what is happening in the movie. Joss Whedon is filling in that connective tissue, those silent spots in a Zack Snyder film. He and Danny Elfman, very skillfully. Zack knew who he was picking to continue his film. This film can only get better because of Joss Whedon and Danny Elfman. You're still going to hear Junkie XL. His music's in there. You're still going to hear Hans Zimmer. His music's in there. You're still going to get a Zack Snyder story. His story's there. The principal photography. The bulk of the movie is going to be a Zack Snyder film. But post-production matters. Let me say that again. Post-production matters. See, this movie can easily make $1 billion, but that's not enough. Warner Brothers wants this movie to be a critical as well as a commercial success. Because when Wonder Woman was a critical and commercial success, it not only made money, it exceeded all expectations. And so Warner Brothers is shooting for, with Joss Whedon and Danny Elfman, with Zack Snyder and Junkie XL, with Jeff Johns and John Berg, they are shooting to knock this thing out of the park. Me personally, I don't care about critical reception. But Warner Brothers is saying, look man, there's a difference between critical reception and not getting critical reception. You saw the difference with Wonder Woman. Suicide Squad did exceptionally well at the box office, but it could have done better. How do we know this? Wonder Woman, a movie that had some of the elements of Suicide Squad because you cared about the characters, but yet was orthodox enough that you could follow it from beginning to end and you understood the story. That movie is making box office records as we speak. And so, even though it hasn't made as much as Batman v Superman, and I doubt it'll come anywhere approximately close to it, in the North American market, it has surpassed Batman v Superman. And that's just a testimony to the fact that the directing of the film was such that those holes that sometimes an indie filmmaker may have, those little gaps that the audience still is kind of clueless about, those things are now filled. And that's what you got with Wonder Woman. And I think this is the same thing Joss Whedon's going to do with Justice League. He's going to fill in those holes so that you get a nice, smooth, coherent movie. And as such, a movie you can enjoy. You know, not a hee-hee-ha-ha movie. Wonder Woman wasn't a hee-hee-ha-ha movie either, if you think about it. But it's going to have some comedic elements. But more or less, that's not what the movie's about. So, Joss Whedon's going to keep you focused on what the movie's exactly about. But yet, at the same time, he's going to ensure that every single Zack Snyderism that is Zack Snyder is going to stay in this movie. He's just going to finesse it and polish it up so that when you see it, you're going to appreciate it. It's still going to be something that might grate the wrong way with you, but Joss Whedon's going to smoothen it out and soothe you so that, just like how Patty Jenkins did it, so that you actually receive what is being said, the bitter and the sweet. So I'm looking forward to Justice League a lot. That's why I did this video at 1:17 a.m. in the morning. I really should have gone to sleep. I sort of wasted my time a little bit. But guys, for you, I dropped this last video. On that note, remember, Wonder Woman is the key here. She is the key. You guys have a great one.